Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latin Nerds Network. Ready to go over all the shows and films released on streaming over the past week, give you our best recommendations or non-recommendations as the case may be, and of course at the end of the show, let you know what's coming out so you too can create your very own watch list. Joining us as always is Senor Jaime, aka Chewy. What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
What? Just 100 more days to Comic Con. Yeah.
It's a long time for
Plus some.
we got June 1st for the big stuff before we get to Comic Con.
All
Big
right.
June, baby. We'll get into that a little bit later as the weeks approach. Was doing this a little before Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Enjoy your day, your one day of peace and quiet, as if that actually really happens. Anyway, enjoy your dinner, your lunch. When they take you out in these jam-packed restaurants and all that stuff, you have to wait,
Breakfast.
3 hours.
Breakfast.
Brunch, breakfast, whatever, the flowers, etc., etc., etc. And a few shows here, not many shows. This was a a very small week of releases, and so is next week. So this will be a much shorter show than usual. Break it down two parts. We got a couple of shows we're gonna do our quick takes on, and then we'll feature one show. We'll get a little more of a deep dive, if you will, from week to week. But that being said, Chewy, let's get started here with the first one. This one's all you, because the show that
Yeah.
I watched, and that's Reginald the Vampire on SYFY, beginning its season 2. I just know the show about sci-fi, and it stars the fat kid from Spider-Man, the MCU. That's all I know. Chewy, is this worthy of the watch list? Is it worthy to put season 1 on the watch list?
Why are you hating on that,
I'm
dude?
not
Come
hitting on
on.
that. I'm just saying, I
Come
just
on,
a
dude.
thing I know from. So I didn't say it was bad or good.
Uh, I mean, it's silly. It's silly vampire, show. It's sci-fi. It is what it is. I
That
enjoy
doesn't
it.
screaming recommendation
Well, I
there.
mean, it's no
Not a
it's
ringing
no
endorsement.
interview with the vampire, right? That's a great show. That's dropping tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's a silly take on vampires, right? And it's zany, and it's got its sci-fi channel spin, and obviously what kind of shows they produce. But it's still enjoyable because it is rather fun. They don't take the subject seriously.
Sci-fi still trying to find its next Mansquito. I don't think it's done that yet. So,
Oh, it's Sharknado.
Sharknado came close. I'll give you that. I'll give credit's due. This next one here was a Netflix release, 7 episodes. Bodkin is the name of the show. This kind of I guess comedy slash mystery about this podcaster who goes out to a city called Bodkin in Ireland,
Island.
very small little
Yep.
town, and he gets partnered up with a journalist who is forced to go help him out against her wishes. She's embroiled in some kind of mystery or situation with one of her, I guess, the story she was working on. Now
With the whistleblower. Yep.
he's found dead, so she needs to kind of get away and get away from all that. And yeah, so Chewy, this on the watch list or not?
It's middle of the road. I mean, it's not bad, it's not great. It's interesting. Typical, I guess. Well, it's not true crime, right? It's make believe,
Sure.
but that's the take. And obviously, we have these true crime podcasts that are in the now, and so it's taking a spin on that. And these guys are podcasters, but they don't really they more present the crime. They don't try to solve the crime. So
Yeah,
this is the
they're trying to
one that try.
do a podcast on a
Yeah.
story in Bodkin about some 3 kids who went missing in a kind of little Halloween celebration. Anyway, in
Hmm.
20 years, so they kind of deep diving into that, if you will.
Yeah.
Um,
It's interesting. It's interesting, right?
Only because it's Mother's Day, I can't force any mothers out there to watch this show. Not that it's terrible, but I can't put us on the watch list. It's not funny. And it's Bill's it's comedic, and it's not. This isn't only
Mhm.
Murders in the Building, right? Which is kind of a similar flavor,
Oh,
I
hell
guess,
no.
right?
Hell
Yeah, and the
no.
mystery it's not that interesting. Potential there, but honestly, not on the watch list for me. You guys can skip that. Those are the two quick takes on there. Let's go to the third show that got released. A little more deep dive here, as our feature show is Dark Matter, dropping 2 episodes on Apple Plus. We're both big fans of Apple Plus. They always generally give you good stuff. I think pound for pound, maybe the best pound for pound, not the quantity of Netflix does. But that being said, this one here, we got Joe Edgerton, we got Jennifer Connelly, the ever beautiful Jennifer Connelly. She's like 50 years old, 50 something, still looks great. This one here is a very heady sci-fi kind of mystery. We got
Hmm.
Joe Edgerton, who is a professor who gets kidnapped by himself, and now he's put himself in another universe where his other self came from. Sounds very confusing, but that's what the show gives you. Yeah, so it's dealing with multiverses and what have you, and he's trying to, and the guy in the real the initial Edgerton introduced, trying to figure out why am I here. No one recognized me. It's a different world. He's not even married to Jennifer Connelly as he is in his real world. So now I have to figure out why he's there, why they switch places to begin with. This one here, I was looking forward to this one. I love me some good heady sci-fi, and so do you. If not mistaken. And this is really good. I really like this show. Really good setup. I wish they gave us 3 episodes, but I get it. Like they ended up, again, they haven't really dove too much into the science behind it for the most part. I know with multiverse you expect to see different worlds and stuff like that, and the trailer that shows you what's coming up does show you that, so I'm excited about that and where this show goes. It takes the same approach to multiverse as Everything Everywhere All at Once, right? Which I like, where you make a certain decision and that's a split off to a different universe to a certain degree, right? How these universes are created based on decisions that you make.
I mean, I think calling it multiverse is a misnomer, because that's more fantasy. It's more
parallel
comic
universes. I mean, like I said, it's not.
Let's not use multiverse, because obviously
it's a multi-parallel worlds out there, right? Infinite number, right? As per science, and obviously quantum physics and whatever the case is, and they branch off in this.
The whole Schrodinger's cat experiment, right? If it's inside the box, it's both alive and dead, and that's the premise, right? And so he developed somehow his own box to be able to traverse, other alternate parallel realities,
whatever,
to explore, right? But obviously, like I said, we're still very early, so they really haven't explained much as far as what his motivation, what it is. Well, we understand his motivation, but we don't know.
You get an idea of it to introduce that.
We find out first episode, this guy's been gone for a year. No one knows where, no one knows how, and I'm still not even sure the people he's working with know what the experiment is.
Correct.
Because they've said they have other subjects that said no one's returned. So God knows what happened.
I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what. So like I said, they give you enough breadcrumbs to okay, this is the basic, which is great. Which is the first episode should do, right?
Because the prime, let's call it the prime and the subprime. The subprime guy starts to figure this out, and as he figures it out, we figure it out because no one else is telling us much. You just see how he's reacting and how he's trying to put the pieces together, because for him, he's either crazy or something wild is going on,
right?
and so that adds to the intrigue. And then that episode 2 ending, I was like, whoa!
Oh yeah, I know. I was like, whoa, hello, which is why I won a 3rd episode.
Hello. No joke, man.
Do that to us like that, but that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But
so no one is safe.
No, well, clear. I mean, we're dealing with parallel universes. I mean, anything can happen, I guess, and. I'm curious how these other worlds play, how different they are. Like I said, it's things are still very unclear, not in a confusing way. Just like, hey, we know we're gonna get a little bit more about the apple as episodes go on. Right? Clear, but
and it seems to indicate that where he ends up is I guess is uncontrolled mayhem, or there doesn't appear to be a way to be able to navigate and know exactly where you're going or how to select. I think it's kind of open-ended. You go where you open.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I guess we don't know yet, and that's okay. That's fine. There's
so
a lot for them to give us.
Somehow, what we know is it's been a year since this guy started his experiment or whatever he did.
Right, and he switched places with himself.
And he got to this world and he stayed there because he has a locker. He had material. He's been scouting this guy for a year. I mean, he was like they showed the episode where they show him in the locker. It's like, oh, this guy just appear and decide to take it. This guy's been planning it for a long time, and how he is able to move and send other people back. That's the big question, because we don't know. We know there's some device, some box. Is it show up everywhere? Is it only where he's at? How is he? We're gonna find out that information. I hope at some point.
Exactly.
Understand what's going on.
That's what's gonna make.
And how this company is involved. What how much they know, because there's a lot of people. The bodyguards. Something's going on, right? They don't just kill people. And obviously, there's not the first person they kill, because they're talking about other bodies that they've had to dispose.
Right.
So something's going on.
I mean, we do that kind of stuff. Things are gonna go wrong, and just I think the show's gonna be you make or break it by what they explain, right? How this makes sense, because it's gonna get very confusing, very convoluted. It can, because it's not easy subject matter. So how to navigate it will make up. Those things make sense. Like, okay, because it's not time travel. It's not. We do this parallel universes. They can get a lot of things that get jumbled up, and they can just make stuff up for the sake of it. Now, it's based off a book. I don't know anything about it, but they have a
Yes,
book.
yes,
So,
very detailed,
right.
very
So
yes.
hopefully they can provide that detail because this needs a lot of explaining. It really does. But that's a cool thing. That's what's good about it, right?
Lucy,
This got so much. This show's got a lot of potential to be a
yeah,
big winner, right? So far, so good. Highly recommend for me. Highly recommend if you like this kind of heady
absolutely,
sci-fi
absolutely. I
stuff. Yeah,
really, really like this show a lot.
this can go south really quick. We know that, but let's see. So far, so good. Like we've seen. And I forgot to ask you, talk about a show that went south, and I don't want to even ruin it, but Sugar was one that.
Holy cow! I mean,
We'll wait till Sugar ends. There's one more episode. We'll talk about that next week.
okay,
But
there's one more
that,
episode. Yeah, that was. I knew we knew something was coming, but damn.
right? I was on the right track when we first talked about what I
Yeah,
thought might be it.
I mean, this was traditional, 50s, 60s type detective procedural, and talk about a
Yeah,
360.
and I'm not.
What the
Yeah, and
F?
people are gonna love it. They're gonna hate it, and we'll dive into it next week if there's
Yeah.
time. But that's an interesting show. But I guess a show that could begin a certain way and end up a certain way for better or worse, right? Who knows? It depends who you
Well,
are, right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
whatever. But that being said, Target Man is a show that can definitely hit the rails or keep going. So, but cool show. Actually, the best show of the week. Absolutely high recommend. What's any sci-fi? If you're not into sci-fi, my wife she enjoyed it too. She's not a big sci-fi person per se, but she liked the trailers. So I waited a little longer to watch it.
Mhm.
She really enjoyed it, so we're gonna get hooked on that. So that's it for this week. Not a lot. Next week, real quick reminders. We got again tomorrow on the 12th. We got Interview with the Vampire AMC. Very cool show. Season
Mhm.
2. Outer
On that
Range,
AMC.
another science fiction show. Speaking of, season 2 on the 16th. You got the Big Cigar. I guess some kind of historical true story. I guess I'm not sure. The
I
Black
I
Panther.
am
I
not
don't
sure,
know.
but it's Apple Plus,
Apple
so
Plus, right? And then we got Power. It's a documentary about
that's docu-film.
power between the authorities and the people.
Well,
And
it's just policing. I
right,
mean,
basically,
policing in
yeah.
America,
So
essentially.
that's interesting.
Yes.
Also in the 17th. So 4 shows next week. Not a lot, but we'll jump back in here on Sunday and talk about those. See what's worthy of a feature. That being said, of course, happy Mother's Day once more. We join us here every Sunday. The watch list. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.